3, let's go!
Hi everyone, welcome back. As you can see from the title of the video, I'm sure, today we are going to be doing everything about the brows and how I like to do my brows. I'm someone that doesn't have big brows, they're not very filled, they're pretty sparse, and this is just what I find works for me, my face shape, etc. Obviously brows are a very personal thing, but I don't ever come across people with very sparse brows on YouTube, at least I haven't yet. If anybody knows of anyone out there with brows like me, let me know because maybe I can learn from them. If you're interested in learning about how I like to fill in my brows, I use 2 products only, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, keep on watching. Alright, so I've just zoomed this in a little bit more. These are the 2 products that I really use on the daily. So the first one is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Ebony, and then the next one is the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit, which is a clear brow gel. The Benefit one looks like this. So one end is more flat and the other one has a curve, and it's just a clear gel. And then I'm sure we've all seen the Anastasia one. It's got the spoolie on one end and a nice really fine tip on the other. Yeah, so it has a really nice fine tip and a spoolie on the other. So yeah, those are the 2 products I use. For me, Ebony, some people might say it's a little dark. This is kind of what it looks like in comparison to my brow hairs, but it's kind of got like a grayish tone to it a little bit. I've tried dark brown and that one's a little too warm for me, which is why I like to go with this one. So I just start by brushing my brow hairs up, and I'm actually gonna do this by looking in the viewfinder because it's a little bit further away from me than like holding a mirror would be. Typically when I do my brows, I look into my vanity. I do not look up close into a mirror. That's just my personal preference because I find by looking far away, not like super far away, but by looking far away, you can kind of tell what other people are gonna see your brows as, because really nobody's gonna be like this close to my face. That's unrealistic. So I like having a sense of what it would look like to the person looking at me. I just start by brushing them up. As you can see, like I am missing some hairs in here. I just got a little bit closer, but at the bottom here as well, right here does not grow. So I like to start, oh, that's a little high. I like to start by just sketching out the bottom kind of shape of my brow. And what I like about this brow pencil in particular is that it's a little bit harder and more waxy, I guess, is how I would describe it. So it goes on fairly light. I have the Benefit Precisely My Brow also in my collection, but that one is much creamier. So once I've kind of shaped in here, so you can see I've filled the shape in here, and then just a touch on the ends. Really, my ends are like pretty good. Then I like to start at the front and do little tiny brush strokes upwards. And then as I'm kind of getting more in here where it starts to arch, I start to take my brush strokes on an arch as well. So it's really only in the front that I brush up straight. And then I like to kind of do little tiny brush strokes on the top. I know some people will brush all the hairs down to do this, but I find this works a little better for me. And then I'm always going in and brushing out my brow hairs just to kind of distribute that product out. I don't know why it looks like I have a clump in there. I definitely don't. One sec. What is that? It looks like I have like a clump in here, but when I'm brushing it, it's not moving. So I don't know, nothing is showing up in the mirror, so it could just be the way it's picking up on the viewfinder. Anyways, so I keep going back in with those little strokes. And I'm gonna fill in the top there as well because it's a little sparse. And then I usually just kind of like run a line down the end of my brows just for shaping, but I don't really need to like fill in hairs there. So I'm gonna go on to the next side, same thing here, starting by shaping my brow. And my brows are very much sisters, not twins. I have 2 different shaped eyes, so my brows are end up going to be different. As you can see, like This eye is a little bit more hooded than this one. This one is a little bit more almond, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, my brows are not identical, but that's fine because I think if I made them identical, it would really offset my eyes because my eyes are totally different shapes. So again, I'm going in with the little brush strokes in the front just to fill them in a little bit. Coming through, and you can kind of see that I'm missing a little bit here. So I'm gonna add a little bit in there. And then down the sides, or the tail I should say. And now this is just a general rule of thumb. You don't have to follow this exactly. But essentially, if you hold up a brush or like a pencil or whatever, this is where your brow should start. The middle of your eye, that should be your arch, and then this should be your tail. So my tails are a little bit long right now. I do need to get my eyebrows done. And same with at the front. They're a little bit close, but for the most part, you can see like my arches are a little off. But that's all. I also haven't had my brows done in a while, so. So I'm just brushing that product through. And when I brush the product through, then I can go back, add a little bit more where I might have taken some off that I didn't want to. But I think like going in, brushing through and like diffusing and then adding a little bit more, just in slow steps can really help you control what they look like as well. So I'm pretty happy with those. I feel like they still look like nice and natural. Like you can see the separation at the front. They don't look like blocks or anything. So when I'm happy with how they look, then I go in with my brow gel. Personally for me, this is my favorite because my ends are quite long. They will stick up a little bit, so I like to kind of glue them down. I don't know if like a styling wax would be better. I have ordered one from ColourPop, so I'm gonna see how that works, but for now I love this one. And so I just start by brushing it through the front and all the way through, and I do brush the ends out at first, and then I just clean them up a little. And then this is just my personal preference. I don't notice a difference on either side, like how I showed you one was more curved and one was more straight. I usually just do one side and then I flip it and get the product on the other side and do the other side. I don't know if it makes a difference, but so same thing, just brushing through the fronts just to kind of make them like a little bit more fluffy. And yeah, when I do this, sometimes I'm gonna zoom you in just a little bit closer. So as you can see, like I am kind of missing a little bit here. This side is okay. So I could go back in and fill that in just a bit, but to be honest, I'm not that bothered. And again, that's another thing where you have to remember, up close, they're going to look a little bit different than far away. So from far away, like if I zoom you all the way out, hopefully that's focused. I don't know. If I zoom you all the way out, really, they look fine, they look normal, and this is really what people are gonna view my face as in general. So I do think that is something just to keep in mind, that people are not gonna be this close to your face inspecting your eyebrows. So I like making sure that they look nice from afar and soft and gentle. And then if you look up close and they're a little bit messy, it's like whatever, nobody's coming that close to me anyways. But yeah, that was just a nice, quick, easy video of how I like to do my brows. I literally use 2 products. These are like my tried and trues. I've yet to find anything that I like more. I do normally do my face stuff before I do my brows, but I'm not wearing makeup today, so I just slap my brows on. But yeah, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel below, and I will see everybody in the next one. Bye! How do I take a thumbnail for brows? Especially because I feel like I look really manly.